Better wake up. The world you live in is just a sugar-coated topping. There is another world beneath it. The real world. And if you want to survive it, you better learn to pull the trigger. There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
This one's for all you motherfuckers that are still trying to ice skate uphill. Put some goddamn respect on Blade's name. I've seen a lot of people credit X-Men or Sam Raimi's Spider-Man as being the first successful Marvel film projects, but I'm tired of pretending that Blade didn't come first. Blade dropped in 1998 and was what started this whole Marvel thing. Before Blade, there was no success of adapting Marvel characters onto the big screen, and the first two Blade films were both great. So yes, this is going to be a video of a grown man absolutely yapping about how cool Blade is. You've been warned. I feel like Blade is the superhero trilogy that time largely forgot, and I don't really understand why. Sure, Blade Trinity wasn't amazing, but there's been far worse superhero films than the third Blade movie, if we're gonna keep it a buck. And Blade 1 and 2 are both pretty awesome. I'd say some of the best that this genre has to offer, especially given the time that they were made. Wesley Snipes was Oromogging before it was even a thing. I mean, the first movie has one of the coolest opening sequences of all time. The vampire rave is bloody and action-packed, and Blade's entrance is simply badass and lets us know exactly how imposing of a force he is right from the get-go. It's hard to describe, but watching Wesley Snipes as Blade just puts a smile on my face. He's mysterious, cool, has kick-ass action sequences. He's just the man. And I think this kind of boils down to the fact that hard-edge mercenary characters are just cooler than goody two-shoes by the book's heroes. Shout out to Superman, but that archetype can get boring real quick. And as far as the badass killing type goes, not many heroes do it better than Blade. Also, even his name is badass. I mean, Blade? Are you kidding me?
Motherfucker, are you out of your damn mind?
But beyond just being cool and completely steeped in aura, the concept of Blade as a character is actually quite interesting as well. Blade is obviously half human, half vampire, and is someone who walks the line between the light and the dark. Someone who wages the fight that us normal humans are unable to. Someone with many of the strengths of a vampire, but almost none of their drawbacks. It's the perfect note for a complicated hero. He essentially spends his whole life resenting and fighting part of himself. He hates vampires more than anything and battles to eradicate them. Yet, at the end of the day, he too is technically a vampire. And Blade could easily be an animal or a maniac, as pointed out by Deacon Frost in the first film, but despite the fact that Blade knows he'll never be fully accepted by mankind, he still refuses to join the vampires or stop fighting for humanity. And this struggle of fighting for what's right, even when it doesn't benefit you in any way, is what defines being a true hero. He simply does it out of a moral obligation to do the right thing. So underneath the cool body armor and heaps of charisma, he possesses a heart of gold. And I think that this is actually what truly makes him such a great character. Wesley Snipes was also the perfect choice to play Blade. No disrespect to Mahershala Ali, who is a great actor in his own right, but I have a hard time believing that someone is going to be able to top Snipes as Blade. His martial arts inspired fighting fits the character like a glove. It's just fun in the best of the late 90s, early 2000s style of movie fighting. And yes, I know that if you break it down frame by frame, there's some goons just flailing around waiting their turn to get their ass kicked by Blade. But I don't really care. It's fun and entertaining as hell. And his one-liners also go crazy. Some of my favorite lines in movie history come from the Blade trilogy. And yes, that even includes Blade Trinity. When Dracula questions if Blade is ready to die, and he responds by saying, "I was born ready, motherfucker." That's simply cheesy perfection. And that line was a foundational meme that my friend group would just throw out in random conversations all throughout middle and high school. And how could I not mention "some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill"? I mean, that sentence is just a masterpiece. There's definitely shorter ways of conveying that message, but that's the most Blade line of all time. At one point, he literally rips a vampire's throat out just to throw it in the face of another one. I mean, what else do you want me to say? He's cool. And you need to go watch Blade 1 and 2 if you haven't yet. But all in all, Blade is an action and superhero icon who deserves to be talked about far more than he is. Wesley Snipes brings ungodly amounts of charisma to the character and plays the hard-edged badass with a heart of gold to perfection. And while the trilogy certainly isn't perfect, and the CGI maybe hasn't aged the best, there's incredible action, drama, and horror to be found in these films, especially the first two, so in my mind, Blade deserves to have a massive legacy, and long live those who are still trying to ice skate uphill. If you made it this far, thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this yap session about Blade, please feel free to drop a like or a subscribe. And if you agree, disagree, or just have strong Blade thoughts, as always, I'd love to hear you in the comments. Until next time, peace.